Oh yeah, it's your boy Sydney Seeking, live and direct in Atlanta with the Throwback Hoops guys. Today, episode 113 of Throwback Hoops. Welcome, guys. How we doing? Welcome to Atlanta. You finally made it. How was last night?
It was great. First Hawks game, they had a win, which is even better. So yeah, it was great to catch up with yourself. Thanks to the tickets you hooked up for us.
Thanks, Sid.
I know you two kicked on a little bit more than me last night. I was a good boy and had an early night, so you guys might be feeling a bit worse for wear, but it's been great so far.
The city's been great, man. It's great to be here with, my best friend, my boy, Sydney Seeking, a.k.a. Sydney Moncrief, a.k.a. Sydney Dean, a.k.a. Sydney Portier. Please follow the show on YouTube and wherever you listen to your podcast as well. And Sid, thank you for hosting today, brother.
No, thank you guys for coming over to the States and making it a little bit easier for me to come and say good day.
That's it.
Want to talk about last night's game? What was the result?
Well, we're going to do jerseys first.
Oh, my bad.
Yes, no.
This is why I don't host.
No,
This is why I said this is a bad idea.
No, this is why you're here, man.
All right, Robbie, get up.
I'll kick us off. So we're all wearing the dark colour jerseys today. So I thought I'd rock a Hawks one there. So got the Bogdanovic City Edition, which you can see that too well. They're actually wearing this jersey in the game in two nights against Milwaukee. So looking forward to wear this. But yeah, nice looking jersey, this one. And Woods is the brand new one, right?
For sure, man. I got the city jersey here of my man, Dejounte Murray, someone I've always respected and admired. And he put on a show last night, didn't he, boys?
He had that thing straight.
Really good. Yeah.
So much more impressive in person. One of those players that when you see them in
100%.
person, it just stands out way more than watching through the.
And Woods, can I ask as well, did I spend much at the Hawks team store? Or was I
Man, I think, 300 plus US?
something like that?
Yeah.
Probably too much. I'm
You'll
going to get
spend
another jersey
a bit
tonight.
more today. I got this at the team store. It was on special for what? $70 or
Yeah,
something, right?
Oh, that's a deal.
So I think I'll get something else today. Dejounte Murray quietly, after doing his tutelage under Greg Popovich, has got his opportunity at the Hawks now to lead this team. And with Trae Young out, he showed some of that leadership, those leadership qualities and those intangibles yesterday. And shows why the Hawks were so invested in him. Are we going to have a season next year where we see both Trae Young and Dejounte Murray on the same roster again, guys?
I hope so. Maybe they'll make their playoff run this year, right?
I'll tell you
Well,
one
come back.
thing. Trey wants to be there. Like we saw
We
him
saw that
up
last
and
night,
about on the.
It was
really
lovely.
hyping up the team. So
Yeah.
good to see when like an injured superstar is still amongst it, even this late in the season.
No, 100%.
For sure.
What else, guys?
Your jersey as well?
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, of course,
Yeah,
I
the
have
old
to
one.
rock my boy, Xavier Cooks. He's back.
They kept the number 10 for him.
Back.
Getting that jersey back.
The Kings have just had an ownership change. I'm really glad to be a part of that ownership now.
Oh, man. It's him.
So TSE have changed their stake to a minority stake, and Bullamy Capital Group, which is
Bullamy.
Robin Denholm
Yeah.
and co. They now are the majority stakeholders in Hoops Capital.
She's a Tesla or something?
Yeah,
like that?
Tesla CEO.
Okay, wow.
So tell me something, Sid. With Brian Gorgian coming in the helm after an up-and-down season, bringing back Xavier Cooks for 3 years, this is signaling some of the moves the Kings are going to make to go back to the promised land, right?
Oh.
Yep.
I mean, you just have to look at Gurja's record.
Yep.
Like, you're almost a guaranteed top four. It just now comes down to who are the other pieces that we're going to bring in.
Well, there's that plus the fact that the Kings don't have a salary cap, as most people watching this show will know. So, they could probably go out and get a few.
It's rich coming from Perth, right?
I know, right?
Really rich coming from a Perth guy,
the
man.
real-
Yeah. Really rich coming from a Perth guy. So let's talk about Xavier Cooks a little bit more. He's had a little bit of a tough run, right?
Yep.
Had his shot in the NBA, went to Japan, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got to catch up.
Yeah.
I took my daughter and saw him in the preseason.
Yep.
And then, got let go just before.
I'll ask you guys. Are you guys both surprised that it didn't work out for him? Because I think we got that, was it a 2-year contract or whatever? We all thought it would probably stick, but what do you think actually happened there?
Look, man, he got sent into purgatory at probably one of the worst teams
Yeah.
I've ever seen in NBA history in the Wizards. And I don't know what their thinking was. There's a change of ownership as well at the Wizards who didn't want to keep him on that roster.
Yeah.
But I think there's not many guys who give a damn on that Washington team. So having a guy who does all the X's and O's would have been good for them to have a guy like Xavier Cooks. I think it shows that the NBA is all about timing
Yeah.
and getting your opportunity at the right time. And I think although it was the right time when he got signed, with that change in ownership, the direction the Wizards were heading, he wasn't a fit for them. So to answer your question, I'm very, very surprised, right? And I think now at 28, 29, he wants to be with his family. He wants to be in a familiar place where he's respected for what he brings to the table. Signing on for 3 years at the Kings.
Richest contract in NBL history, right?
The richest contract in NBL history, yes.
Was reporting
I think that signals the end of his dream to play in the NBA. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Well, he's got the jersey now. He's like Mitch Creek, you know. You can say he's been an NBA player.
I got the jersey too.
Yes, so do I.
Yes.
Do you guys think there will be anybody from this year's NBL season that's going to make the jump to the NBA?
Well, Galloway is obviously on that Bucks roster now. I don't think he's played on the court yet, has he? In terms of other players, I mean, look, we were talking about Luke Travers before we went to air. I'm still not quite sure whether he's made a big enough leap to perhaps get those minutes. So I think that we'll find out about that this year. But yeah, I don't know.
Definitely the next star guys, right?
The next star guys. Yeah. But I'm talking, if you're thinking guys that have been in the league a couple of seasons, I don't know if there's anyone that's going to make that leap this year. But Rocco's going to be there in a few years for sure.
Well, that's sure.
Yeah.
He'll definitely be there.
Let's hope so.
What about Alex Tui? Is he going to make it?
What's he projected at now?
I think second round. He could be end up like a Travis type, right? He gets drafted, maybe gets a two-way eventually, but maybe you don't see him. I hope he does. Yeah. Love to see representative of the NBL One East making it, but yeah, let's hope he does.
I think LT's done enough, man. Okay, he just does a little bit of everything on the court. As I said, a Swiss Army knife. He doesn't care too much about scoring or getting assists or filling up the stat sheet. He'll do what he needs for his team to win ball games.
No, I hope he makes it.
I think that'll give him an opportunity.
I've never been a huge fan of his shooting, just like Xavier. But last night, he hit a big three there.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a bit later, right? About some of the injury cloud that's hanging over him for that game 5, right? Yeah. Could be costly.
It's gonna be interesting. Let's go back, though, and let's talk more about last night's game.
About last night.
And impressions, and about you guys seeing Dominique's statue out the front of the State Farm Arena.
Well, I'll start. So I didn't shed a tear. I was worried maybe that it was great seeing it there. Look, really nice stadium. Firstly, there's lots of good viewing areas there. I actually did have a bit of a celebrity spotting, didn't I, Woods?
So Brian Oliver.
Yeah, Brian Oliver. So those that may watch the Hawks games, he does a lot of the commentating with Bob Rathman and also does some of their halftime stuff. Former star at Georgia Tech. He teamed up with Kenny Anderson and Dennis Scott. I've worn both of their jerseys on the show before. Actually, the father of another guy wore a jersey on the show in JP Tokoto, former Perth Wildcats import. So he could not have been any nicer. He was so friendly. Yeah. Took the time to have a chat, get a photo, shake my hand. He was telling me, try and go over and see Dominique and get a photo. He'll do that. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get Dominique.
We can try today.
We can try today. I think tonight's going to be a lot more busy. But anyway, we'll see how we go. But yeah, great experience. We got hot dogs, we got pizza. Woods had 1 or 2 drinks. As he mentioned, I spent a lot in the team store, and I'm probably not done yet with these next 2 games. So Woods has actually kindly offered to lend me some space in his suitcase on the way home.
I never said that. I never said that. You assume that, right?
I'm going to chuck some stuff in.
Yeah, sure, man. Sure.
But yeah, look, for me, wrote down a few things about the game as well. And we mentioned Dejounte Murray at the start of the
man.
Exactly what Sid said, right? Seeing him in the flesh, he was amazing. So some of the moves he was putting, no separation. He'd be doing all these dribbles and creating separation. So he was one of the more impressive players I've seen. But look, a really good team effort by the Hawks. 6 players in double figures. Garrison Matthews came on and got 21. Dylan Windler.
Yeah, give me some Dylan Windler, man. Give me some Dylan Windler.
You can see the bench were loving him as well. So
Southpaw.
A lot of injuries in this game, right? So I think Woods might have said it was like a G League game. So for the Hawks, they didn't have Trey, Jalen Johnson, Sadiq Bey, Onyeka Okongwu, AJ Griffin, and Seth Lundy. And for Portland, they were missing even worse. Bogdan, Ayton, Sharp, Thibault, Grant, Simmons, and Robert Williams. So that's like pretty much all of their good players. So there was one good player that we saw for Portland. Woods, why don't you tell us a little bit about your boy there? So 31, 5, and 9, this guy was.
Delano Banton, man. He's one guy who's picked up off the waiver wire. I think he might have started at Boston at the start of this year. Right. Previously from Toronto. He hails from Quebec, Montreal. Got that great hair, but never thought that he had that in him. But over this last little stretch when Scoot Henderson's been out, in and out of the lineup, and Delano Banton's got the opportunity to start and play big minutes. He's shown that he's an NBA player.
59 points in his last 2 games.
There you go. I picked him up on my fantasy team just in time then, didn't I? Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's just super impressive, man. Plays with a lot of poise. And I think we talked about timing in the NBA and getting an opportunity at the right time. With Portland having a whole host of injuries, his numbers being called, and he's proven that he can play at this level, which should lead to a long-term deal for him.
Good-looking man, you were telling us as well last night.
Yeah. Definitely a good-looking man. Yeah.
So we saw our boy Duop, didn't we?
We did see Duop.
You were yelling a few things out when he was doing stuff.
Yeah, you got to support your boomers.
Tell us.
I mean,
13, 5 and 5, so that was a pretty handy game.
He had some good defensive stops.
Yep.
He seems just like a very solid starting center, but yeah, I mean, he is starting. Last night he started the game.
He's a proper rotation player in the NBA, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, there's two guys to Portland I want to ask you about, so I want to ask you both. Even though I'm not hosting, I just want to ask this question, right? So I want to ask Sid about Scoot Henderson. What are your thoughts on him? It was our first time, obviously, seeing him live. What were your thoughts on Scoot?
Love the glasses.
Yeah.
The shot, not so much.
Yeah.
He's not it for me.
I mean, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Not bad stats, but he was 6 of 16. A lot of boneheaded plays. The IQ didn't seem there. What did you
That's
think?
exactly what I think. The IQ. And I've had him on my fantasy roster all year, so I've had a chance to follow his. And he's been a very frustrating player to own, simply because of his inability to make the right decision at the right time. Sure, being a point guard in this league as a rookie is never going to be easy, right? Especially on a team full of guys all trying to make it, It's much more difficult when you're not surrounded by the talent you want to be surrounded by. So I think he will potentially find it. I mean, you look at guys like Kemba Walker in their rookie year, they had very similar seasons, right? Struggling to make decisions, poor under pressure. Yeah. You'd think that someone who comes in with such a high pedigree is going to learn over time. I think what he needs is a proper veteran. I mean, he had Pujita.
Well, he's got Bogdan there. Yeah. He's obviously got Chauncey. So he's got some guys that have played that position that should mentor him.
I was about to say, Pujita was with him on the G League for his last 2 years of the Ignite and played a real big mentor role for him. Malcolm Brogdon, you're right. You mentioned him. Yeah. You'd think that Malcolm Brogdon would take him under his wing a bit more. But I don't think he's been disappointing, but I think all hope is lost. Yeah. Right?
Can we talk about Moses Brown?
Oh, bro. Guys.
Moses Brown, check it out. There's a few
that's how he shoots a free throw
today.
Right?
So he's 24% for the season. He was 1 of 5 last night.
He's 24%.
I actually had to double check that. I thought that was a mistake. So that is the worst free throw shooting style I've ever seen. So just shoot grandma style. That's embarrassing. Like, how can coaches be allowing someone to do that? So literally, if you haven't seen it, he holds the ball like that and literally hand like that and throws it one hand, and they would just.
He holds it to the right like this. He almost like flicks it up.
I think he had one air ball, one that just basically grazed the ring. They were abysmal. So that the crowd were finding that quite funny.
The crowd loved that.
They did.
He does a few good things on the court, though.
He's not a bad player. He's been bounced around a bit now, hasn't he? But yeah, what is that all about?
But what about the game day experience? Maybe we talk about that, guys. What do you think?
I mean, it's on par with what I see down in Miami when I go to those games, that's for sure.
And we should say last night, it wasn't exactly rocking as well as State Farm. They were playing Portland, with the G League roster we mentioned. They've also got a game tonight against Boston, which we know is going to be packed. So
big ticket games, saving their money for that one.
I think so, right? People have been like, we'll go the next day and see the Celtics. Because, the Celtics were here. I think we spoke about it on the last episode. We came back 30 points down. The Hawks and won that. So that's going to be a cracker game tonight. So.
Didn't see any rappers or celebrities.
No, nothing, right?
We'll see a couple of...
Well, even the cab driver said to us the Milwaukee and Boston game, you'll probably see some celebrities go outside of those games, right? So,
true.
Yeah. And
we got Celtics tonight.
Yeah. So we're not sitting together, are we? Unfortunately, but
no. We can swing it. If we've got a spare seat next to us, we'll figure it.
So tonight for me, well, look, Al Horford's a game time decision. I was actually looking forward to give him a bit of an ovation, the former Hawk there, but looking forward to see some star power. I think after some of the guys that Portland had last night, Tatum and Brown are both playing. I think Holiday's maybe doubtful playing, but we'll see Derek White and his foreign playing. I'll talk about that. So, yeah, looking forward to see that. They're a quality team, Boston, and that could be a team that makes the finals this year. So to see them will be great. I think the atmosphere is going to be up a level.
Anyone on the injury report for Boston today?
So Holiday and Horford are game time decisions. Yeah. That's kind of it. So Porzingis is definitely playing, which is good.
Brown.
Brown? Yeah, Brown and Tatum. Yeah.
And then any thoughts on Milwaukee?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one as well. Talk about star power there.
Great rivalry between the two teams.
Yeah, they've had some good games in the park and everything. So, yeah, looking forward to that one. Just to see Giannis, to see Dame, these sort of guys. Oh, look at this.
The rookie over here.
But no, 2 really good games coming up. We get a day in between, don't we, Wood? So tomorrow, and I should mention as well, so we did say that Lee Ellis is going to be coming to the game for us. Unfortunately, it didn't happen last night. And look, I don't know whether it's my fault or my phone's fault, but he was trying to message me and the messages weren't coming through. He mentioned that State Farm Arena is a bit of an internet dead spot there. So unfortunately, by the time the messages came through, it was the third quarter and Lee had gone home. But Woods and I are catching up with him tomorrow morning. We're going out for a coffee. I've told Woods to be on his best behaviour tonight.
That's not going to happen, but I'll make it a
It's got to
coffee.
be a little bit fresh.
Yeah.
Actually, you might mention tonight. Should we tell everyone where we might be going to after the game?
Yeah.
Sid, what's the name of that place again?
I only know it for its wings.
It's Wings, right.
Yeah, really good wing hotspot here in Atlanta called Magic City.
Yeah.
Oh, Magic City. I've heard of that. Yeah. Okay. So we'll give a bit of report on what that's like. It feels like it's our duty when we're in Atlanta to check out.
Yeah,
this
even
thing.
my wife's coming to Magic City.
Yeah. That should be good. So, hanging for these next 2 games.
My early flight out in the morning is not looking forward to it.
Yeah, don't worry, you'll get there. You're not pikey.
We'll make it through. All right, want to talk a quick little bit about NBL?
Damn, for sure.
Hey, we should mention 4:30 a.m. that game started Atlanta time, so it was a tough one to watch.
Yeah.
But I know we've all kind of seen various forms of.
Saw the last quarter a little bit,
Yeah.
and the highlights. Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that one, Sid?
United did what they needed to do
Yeah.
and have taken it back for game 5.
And 5-point lead with 3 minutes left for Tassie. That's going to haunt them, I
It's
think, isn't it? Like, the
Brutal.
crowd were going nuts. The crowd was sensing, I think, that they were about to celebrate on their home court.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be that emotional letdown now. Even though we did say we thought Tassie would finish
Pucker
last
up,
night. Yeah, and Melbourne just come back and take care of business. But hey, we're going to give some props to Delhi, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we've.
He didn't throw the ball away.
No, he didn't. He was big at the end, wasn't he? Just driving to the rack, throwing up some tough shots and everything. But yeah, he was.
Ian Clark as well,
That's who stood out for me.
Yeah.
It's just his poise and just.
Yeah,
it
they had
was
2
taking
scorers
minute.
off the bench United. Ian Clark got 18 of their 22 bench points. So yeah, he was huge. And Golding and Travis were both good. Is there some news about those 2 guys as well?
Yeah, so I'm hearing that Chris Golding's at about 75% and he will play. But as Derek Rucker was saying today, even Golding at 75% is better than, 75% of the players in the league.
True.
So that's fine. Luke Travis has a little bit more of a question mark hanging over him. His leg was in clear pain, and he left the court. So I think we'll have to wait and see how the next couple of days progress. But you think in a game 5, when you've got time to recover, the coaching staff at Melbourne would do anything they can to try and get him fit and
I
healthy
mean,
to play.
surely you play guys 35 plus minutes in this game, right? You just shorten the bench even more. It's a 1-game do or die, right? The whole season comes down to this. So yeah, it's huge, isn't it? I think the NBL will be pleased it's going to game 5. Who are we thinking?
It's a tough call. Sid?
My heart says Tasmania, but my head says United.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
You cannot quantify home court advantage.
Correct.
In game 5 and what we saw last year at Kudos.
We did. Yeah.
Come back. The crowd can impact.
Saying that, though, we've
The
seen
ref.
the road team win the last 2 games, right? So maybe that gives them a bit of hope. But
Perhaps. But I mean, Tasmania would have really wanted to finish it off. As you said, 5 points up with a few minutes left?
Hilton Doyle, what was he doing? He dribbled the ball at the floor, like no urgency, and they just picked the pocket. And yeah, that was
Yeah, that was Joe Luala-Chul with the steal, wasn't it?
Steal,
Yeah. It came up big after a couple of down games, Joe Luala-Chul doing his thing. I just think that you play all season long, as Sid said. Last year we saw it with the Kings on their home floor. Down with just a few minutes left against New Zealand, but that home court brought them
He's
home.
still talking about that.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, you play all year to come first. So in a situation like this, when you're in a game 5, you're on your home floor. I think that John Cain Arena will be buzzing.
Yeah.
I
Friday night game seems to suit the
think-
time.
So
So,
I think-
we'll be competing with AFL as well.
in a canter.
Yeah.
Melbourne
Wait,
doing
it's
a
on
canter. Yeah.
Friday night?
Friday night, or is that? Yes, it is Friday.
Oh, because
yeah.
it's Easter weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to sort of know that because we're Thursday afternoon here. Yeah, it's
So we've got a
Friday
week
already.
to wait.
No, this Friday coming. It's
Wait.
It's
Tomorrow.
so that'll be Saturday. I did work out the time. Or maybe I'm wrong with that. I don't know. Maybe we'll check that. Woods is going to check this and fact check it as well.
Right, keep going.
Either way, a massive game. So yeah, I'm pumped for it. Very similar stats in this one. I checked that as well. Like really similar field goal percentages, similar points off turnovers. So it just came down to those last few minutes there. So
Yeah, so Sunday, 1 a.m. US time.
US time. So it's
Sunday
Saturday.
5 p.m. No, Sunday 5. If it's on Sunday 1 a.m. here,
Yeah,
it's on at Sunday 5 p.m.
got it.
yeah. So Sunday that makes
Yeah.
sense. So yeah, that makes sense. So
Wow,
a bit
on
more-
Easter
more-
Sunday too. That's well. Hopefully they get a really good crowd.
Yeah.
Are they? I mean, are they going to play at JCA or?
Yep.
They are.
Falcon Arena. Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, can't wait.
It would be. There's going to be somebody who steps up off the bench.
Yeah.
Who's
So
it gonna
let's
be?
talk about it. Who's it going to be?
Well, think about if one of those guys for Melbourne's out. Do you maybe try and start Ian Clark, put him into
Nah.
the starting five, or who else is going to play minutes? Is someone like
Tanner Krebs.
Krebs maybe,
Yeah.
or Bowen maybe. I'm not sure if either one.
I
of
would
those
start I would not start Ian Clark. Although, having said that, a few years ago when Jalen Adams went down,
Yeah.
he just slid so easily in that starting lineup and
He's
took
a
them to
big
victory.
game player.
Big game player.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not forget, you talked about Delhi, we talked about Ian Clark. These
Yeah.
guys come with high pedigree, experience.
Yeah.
They've been there in the biggest stage on earth.
Yeah.
And that's going to count for something in games like
100%.
Game 5 on
Yeah.
Sunday.
I think Travis has done a pretty good job on Milton Doyle throughout the series as well. So that could be even more from a defensive point of view if he misses the game. Because Doyle hasn't really got going in either games, has he? If he stepped up and gets 25 in that game, I think probably Tassie will win. But I feel like I need more from Milton.
So Marcus Lee didn't play. Fabian
No,
Krislovic
he's
started.
gone, yeah.
He's gone for the
I
season.
don't think he scored either.
Yeah,
Krzovic.
yeah.
So that's a big loss for them there. So a lot on Magno's shoulders, I guess.
Yeah.
Deng had a couple of good moments
Yep.
last night. So,
It was hard for him to, I guess, back up that game.
Yeah.
The game 3 performance, wasn't it? But yeah, no, he's been good throughout the series for sure.
And he's resurrected his career under Scott Roth, hasn't he?
No one wanted him, bro.
Yeah.
did you guys give your predictions?
Yeah, I think Melbourne.
Melbourne in 10.
So you said in a can.
Melbourne in 10?
No, Melbourne
By
will win by 10.
Oh, by 10.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Would you take another 5 more of these,
No, no, no.
please?
I mean,
Melbourne to win by
get home.
Melbourne to win by 10, I'm going to say.
I'll say Melbourne by 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sid?
Melbourne by 2.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, what about Jack McVeigh? Some love for Jack McVeigh.
28 points, man.
Yeah, so it was a 28.7 rebounds. If he'd have got that shot on the buzzer,
Oh.
I said they would have started putting a stat.
That would have been one of the most epic moments
Can you imagine
ever.
that?
2
To
games
me,
in a row.
that, I think it would have given him that chance to make the leap to the NBA.
possibly.
To the NBA.
Yeah, why not?
They've been talking
No
about
way.
Could win 2 finals games on buzzer beaters.
Yeah,
Something to it. It's like, and he
You think Jack McVay's got a shot to make it to the NBA at some stage?
So is he? Do you think the final
Maybe the
MVP will
Boomers.
go to whoever wins as well? Is that
Yeah.
how it normally goes?
Yeah, it has to.
So if Tassie win, McVeigh is an absolute shoe-in.
Yeah.
So what about if Melbourne wins?
Shaylee?
No, it's got to be Delhi or Golding, right? Delhi or...
Yeah, well, you can't say Delhi with the. I mean,
But even in
he
those games...
single-handedly cost them.
But
2
even in those games, he still had...
Put up big
Well,
numbers.
that's it.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
But Shaylee's been good defensively.
I don't think it's enough to get...
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Do you know
You're
who's-
doing Homer there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Do you know who's leading the averages?
I don't think they actually release it, do they? I know Olgan's one of the voters there. I actually
I
don't
think
they
Delhi
say.
be leading the points average.
So Woody's have walked off, so I don't know whether he's like getting bored of it. I have a feeling if it's the Woody I know, he's probably walking to the fridge, which isn't too far away. So
Or he's bringing in a super sub.
Want a white
You
claw?
never know.
Maybe.
What's a white club?
This is long.
Yeah, okay. No, just getting a white club.
All right.
Thanks, bro.
We've still got one more segment. I know
Unsponsored.
we're looking forward to this.
We do. Shall I introduce it?
Yes, definitely.
So, shout out to J-Mart.
Shout out.
Good friend from GKB, from Good Karma Brands, ESPN. Really great friend. Have seen some awesome moments of basketball with him, including D-Wade's last game. He was able to help us with a connection and get some awesome seats for last night in the lower bowl.
Yep.
Get amongst the action. But he also is somebody who loves ripping packs, just like you guys. And he found in the US a box of the Topps Chrome for you guys
I'm pumped.
to
about
rip.
this.
Now we did. They're very small packs. There's only 4 cards in a pack.
Yep.
So we did rip some before the episode,
Just to practice.
just some practice.
Yep.
We've got a good format today as well, don't we?
It's very fun. Do you want to talk about any ones that we pulled?
Well, we did get one numbered card, so we got a Rajon Tucker, the blue sort of looking one there. Maybe Woods can hold that up. So that's what's that numbered on the back there, Woods?
That's numbered to 68. No, 8 out of 75.
Yeah,
How many
there you
did you
go,
show?
mate.
8 out of 75.
So that's the big one so far. We're hoping for an autograph card. I keep joking I want to pull a Bryce Cotton autograph, but we're going to open a pack each and give some clues.
Alright.
So given they're small packs, we just thought we'd do that.
Yeah.
So
So you guys gonna scissors paper rock to see who's
I don't mind. What he's saying, I'm bad at it, so let me start. And see if I can
alright.
redeem
He's
myself.
still,
Take your
he's still used to
Look at
guessing.
this. Look at
He's still
this.
used to guessing, right? So, you know.
That's what they look like. So for those that don't know this set very well, it's actually the 22-23 set. So if you're sort of thinking, you know, like we pulled a Xavier Rath and Mays card. So guys that maybe are out of your mind, out of sight, out of mind a little bit, but hopefully we get some good ones there. 4 cards in a pack drop.
4 cards.
Very funny.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
All right, so I'll see if I can give some clues. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I don't want to give a clue that's too easy, but one of us is wearing his jersey.
Oh.
It's definitely not Dejounte Murray or
It's
Bogdanovic.
definitely
So,
Bryce Cotton.
no, so
Xavier Rathan Cooks.
Nice. So we've got a Xavier Cooks there. Isn't that a nice looking card? Yeah.
Look at that.
I think we've got an extra good pack coming up. So someone else we've just been talking about that's playing very well in the final series. Got a great head of hair on him. That's a bit of a good clue there.
Luke Travers.
Luke Travers, indeed. So what a start, right? So
LT.
Xavier Cooks and Luke Travers, right?
This is the guy who built his reputation in Perth that Robbie is doubting his ability to take the leap to the next
I'm not
level.
doubting him as a good player. I'm just not sure whether he's NBA level.
that's fair.
We'll find out soon if he is,
That's
right?
fair.
He needs Gleason.
That's
what
it,
you're
that's it.
saying.
We've got a nice card here. We've got a Flight Club card. So, look, this is a guy who was an import again the season before. I think the team that had him that year would have loved for him to come back. He formed a formidable trio in that particular team. Big guy.
Derek Pardon.
What?
No.
What?
Derek Pardon.
Derek Pardon. That was that Woody and I's little gag there every time we mentioned that, where I'd sort of say, what? So look at that card there.
Wow.
Nice looking one. I think there's maybe a set of about 8 of those or whatever.
Derek
Wow.
Pardon, your perfect FIBA big,
Yeah, he
The
was
guy
great.
can switch out, great rim runner, sets big screens,
Yeah.
Would love
perfect
to
for
see-
FIBA basketball.
I would love to see him back in the league.
Me too.
Yeah,
He was
Me
just
too.
Hey,
so much fun.
we opened 3 packs before. The first one I pulled was pretty dodgy. This pack is amazing. So another guy featuring in the final series, and someone that Woody has got a man crush on. So I know he's
Shaley.
pleased about this one. One of the shortest names you'll ever see. Look at that. We've got a Shaley as well.
Love Shilly, man. You talk about great defenders that this league has seen.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him in the top 5-10 there, right? Of all time.
Take
Of
that
all
all
time.
day.
To get Cooks as well. With
And Robbie did give okay clues, didn't he?
Thanks. I'm going to say I'm back. I know.
Yeah.
Always like that. So, all right.
He's
who's
back.
next?
He's back.
So yeah, quick.
Woody,
Aren't they?
you're
4
up.
packs. So, yeah, let's go, Woods. And we're going to rip all these after we stop recording as well and see what autograph
There's
we
one
get.
for you.
Thanks, bro.
My turn.
All right.
The veteran.
Tell you what, though, very nice looking cards, aren't they?
They are.
So Woods and I have both got the set of the normal version of Topps. But these Chrome ones, they're a level above in quality, aren't they? So, and the inserts have made it sort of interesting for people to collect.
All right. This guy, don't mention his name to any Kings fan because he's a little bit of a, he's a complainer, he's a crier,
Nathan Sobey.
and he's now an ex-King playing for the Adelaide 36ers after he thought he could make it to the NBA, but obviously he wasn't good enough.
Oh wow! Yo, DJ, spin that wheel.
Yep. So
I
this guy,
love that guy.
yeah, I mean, I liked him when he was a King, but the way he's carried on and gone about his business recently, and the way he's treated the Kings,
The way
Oh,
that
it's a
played
play.
out
Cool.
with him
yeah,
absolutely trolling the team
Yep.
and shit talking him, and then to turn around and sign 2 days later. Was,
Yeah, that was big news.
the kind of
I
respect
love that.
you love that.
Yeah.
I just think it's hilarious. Like it's like the NBL overtime hosts shitting on the NBL refs all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
pardon my language.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, shit's
Well,
fine.
yeah,
Shit's allowed on this show, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I'm a big fan of his, and he did serve us well for 2 championships.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the way that it ended, and then him going out in the media and saying stuff about the franchise that gave him so much. Come on, man, right? And to make things even worse, I've got his card again.
Same card.
It's a different card. It's a
Oh, it's the retro ones.
the
right?
retro ones.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've got 2 Vucevic.
2 DJs in a row.
Yeah, after one great pack, this hasn't started so well. I love this guy. This guy is one of my favorite point guards. Now at the Brisbane Bullets, previously at
Oh,
the
wow.
Kings, at the Cairns
Double
Taipans,
S.
and
Shame.
father of the great Charlie Scott, Hall of Famer Charlie Scott, right?
You
And
were saying last night you want the Kings to try and get someone like him, Shannon
Yep.
Scott, right?
I don't think
Dennis 3D. No.
I don't think the Brisbane Bullets was a great fit for him. He couldn't stay healthy all year, but he's on
Possibly.
contract for next year,
Yeah.
along with Chris Smith.
Yeah.
Do they
Oh,
keep
I
the
didn't know he's locked up for next year.
They both are. Yeah.
Wow.
But they could part ways. As Brisbane.
Is NBA
Will they keep him?
It's going to be cut ties easy. Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me. You seem to know a lot more about.
Maybe
it
not.
than I do.
Maybe not. Yeah. Okay. This guy is a polarizing figure amongst Australian basketball fans. He did have a great game against the Phoenix Suns in the NBA preseason, but then his attitude problems
Oh, Randall.
and his ability not to get along with teammates cost him
DOS.
a professional career. Craig Randall III.
Well, do you remember that import trio they had, right? Everyone was talking them up for Adelaide and just never worked. Obviously, this is going a season back there, but what did he last? Half a season? Was it
Not
less
even.
than that? Not even half. Yeah, him and CJ weren't exactly, but he was like, tuning out in timeouts, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So not sure where he's playing now, but I don't think with
Well,
that.
those attitude problems have followed him.
Well, the thing is, people respect, NBA people aren't going to take someone like that and say, oh, we can put him in an NBA team. They're going to see what happened there and say, no,
100%.
Go play somewhere else. Yeah. Go play in Turkey or something like that.
And that's not going to work either.
No.
All right.
My pack was pretty good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, those are the best so far.
Superstar pack.
All right, Sid.
From the Cairns Taipans, Sudanese player.
Bill Cole.
Try again.
Latman.
There we go.
Latman.
Ooh, nice.
Love Latman.
Yeah,
Just
he's
a
solid.
dead-eye shooter. Does whatever he can to help the team
Hey,
win.
Butch, you mentioned Bull Cole. Do you reckon he's going to be on the Cairns team next year?
Kings.
Kings, yeah.
Yep,
Wouldn't
yep,
surprise me
yep,
much.
yep. Bull Cole's gonna be a Sydney King next season. Heard it here first.
All right. The last name is almost Australian basketball royalty, maybe. We could say that.
We'll just stop there for a second. Who did you say was basketball royalty? Is friends of yours?
Oh,
The Daltons.
Brad
The
Dalton.
Daltons, yeah?
Nice.
Sid's got an in with the Dalton family.
Shout out Brad Dalton.
I met him last year coaching Manly, actually. Brad Dalton in the NBL 1. He's a
There you
nice
go.
guy.
He's a lovely, lovely man.
Yeah.
All right, so
Big unit, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
going back to this basketball royalty.
Okay, so yes, several players from this family.
Frolling.
There you go.
Sam Frolling.
Samson.
There you go.
Samson Frolling.
Samson
Just quietly.
Foley. Oh, you should
What?
tell a story about that, Rob. Woods, the guy we met last night before we...
Oh, yeah. Sid, tell us the story about...
Segue?
Tell us the story about the guy we met last
All
night.
right, so I'm there in my Matisse Thybulle Australia jersey.
We were a bit drunk at the time.
Just enter the game.
Yep, a
We
bit
did
tipsy.
immediately get kicked out while we were talking. But then, out of the blue, this guy just walks up and says, is that an Australia Thybulle jersey? Like, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm a scout for Illawarra. So, shout out to that guy.
Yeah, and I don't think he was telling the truth.
We talked to him a bit
I
more.
told him he was talking shit, right? Because we know we mentioned Jacob Jacomas. Basically, he sort of knew Jacob Jacomas.
He did.
That
He had a few like you guys as well. So
Yeah.
maybe he was,
and his girlfriend or his wife was less than impressed about his behavior.
She wanted to get out of
She
it.
wanted to get out of there, and
Yeah.
then me and Sid had a little chat to her, but I don't think he's... And then we said, have you ever been to Australia? He said, no, I'd love to go, man. But maybe some of these scouts just work overseas,
Maybe,
right?
maybe.
Yeah.
No, it's good time to chat.
Maybe he's an unpaid scout from
He was a fun guy,
that
though.
just sends his opinions via X.
He was a fun guy.
Fun then. If you're watching, hello.
And he also
Chris,
said...
is that was his name, Chris?
I don't remember his name. He also said that outside the NBA, the one league I love watching is the NBL. And shout out to ESPN for getting all the games out here live and direct onto ESPN. All the NBL games, Sid, you live here? Yep. Great initiative, great exposure for our league with the Next Stars program. So the fact that there's eyes out here on our league.
Hey, what's the question?
is
Is
awesome.
it true that a lot of Black Americans in Atlanta have been coming up to you thinking that perhaps you're a Black American as well?
I won't either confirm or deny that.
You've been loving it, right?
Yeah.
You're loving it.
Yeah.
They just hear you rapping.
I never said that.
That's why.
I
It's the
never
rapping.
said that.
But it has happened. Right?
Yeah.
All right, we've got a good one here. This player has returned to the NBL and is the first person that we know of to have played in 3 straight NBL finals.
Bogdanovic.
Yeah, wow. Has he got on in this final series?
No, he hasn't got on.
Hasn't, has he? Yeah, nice.
There is someone else. Okay, it was doing the rounds on Twitter. Who has played for 3 separate NBL teams? in
It's
finals?
3 separate teams.
That's
It's
three
like 3 in
consecutive.
a row, yeah.
No, 3
Is it true you saw this guy at the club?
It's freaking.
I've seen this guy at the club before.
Yeah.
I've seen him at the club before in
Yeah.
Sydney.
I thought I saw him on the court last night.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's-
Robbie,
Autograph Bryce Cotton.
take away the autograph.
Oh, it's BC. Oh, lovely. I don't have that card
BC.
either. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that's a good way to finish it. Cooks, we've got some Bryce Cotton.
We got a bit of-
You're all our favourite players.
Great package, man. Great. Thanks, Sid.
Hey
That's fun.
guys, thanks for an awesome episode here and for having me and for inviting me up here. Is there anything before we sign off you
Yeah,
guys
you know
want
what
to
to do.
add?
You know what to do.
Yeah. All right. So Robbie, tell the people where to find you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well,
Find us.
Yeah.
Fine.
You're forgetting about me, bro.
Well, yeah.
It's easy.
No, I just want his personal.
All right.
Sometimes people say I'm carrying me. No, really
He's the
appreciate
dad.
everyone tuning in. Should apologise as well. We had a little bit of problems with our editing, so we couldn't get the intro song on. So for those that were waiting for the we couldn't quite get that, but we'll have that when we're back in Sydney.
Yep.
But yeah, just wanted to say how fun it's been doing this with Sid and just doing these 2 episodes on location now. It's been great. So Woody and I'll go back to being in separate places and we go.
I think you guys should try and do this more often. It's
Maybe.
good.
There we go. I'm setting up a new studio for the podcast. So
Oh,
in about a month's time, exactly.
So we kick it at your house,
What's
man.
the space,
Yeah.
maybe?
Get some
Yeah,
white
so-
clothes ready. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
sure,
back home, they do.
sure we'll see some paraphernalia that you brought over here
We will,
up
yeah.
on the wall behind
Stuff
you.
that Woody's going to help me carry back in the suitcase. So, but yeah, in terms of following us, so yeah, please make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube. You can download the podcast where all good podcasts are found. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we've been pretty active, haven't we? Since we've
Very
been
active,
so,
man,
sorry,
yeah.
X, I should say.
Yeah.
No,
at-
it's Twitter.
Okay, Twitter. So at Throwback Hoops. I'm sure we'll post some more photos from tonight. Also on Instagram, you know our email by now, and Patreon if you want to, pledge a little bit of support to us.
Join me, guys.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
Join
anyone
me.
like Sid that's doing that. So yeah, that's it for me. So, and what about yourself, Sid? Where can people find you and stuff like that?
Find me everywhere, Sydney Sea Kings. That's it. I'm the same handle everywhere. I
And
got lucky.
What about the King's front office? You're going to be working there.
We're going to be the start of the 3P.
Nah, it's been great to kick it with Sid, man. We've built a great bond and a friendship over time. And obviously, this is only the 3rd time we've actually met in person.
Yeah.
Right? And first time we met Robbie.
Yep.
But it just
Feels natural.
like brothers, we've known each other. And
The only three Aussies in the stadium last night, 100%. There's not a lot of Aussies in Atlanta. We've noticed that. Heaps in
That's
LA,
for
but
sure.
not many here. So.
We're going to try and see the Dominique jersey
Mm.
up in the rafters. The Dominique in the rafters?
Yeah, we were sitting last night. We couldn't see the retired jersey, so we
Yeah.
might be in a position to see that tonight. So.
Try and get a photo and
Yeah.
post that on social.
For sure.
All right, take us out, Sid.
All right, guys. Well, thanks, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here and be host. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Throwback Hoops.
My man. Peace.